I was surprised. I was on band.
And we're on the air.
Yo,
Greetings and
yo, yo.
salutations, my good people.
Greetings to you too,
Greetings.
sir. How we doing today?
Doing good, doing good.
What we got in the building tonight? We got Ashay, we got Brandon, Keon,
Cave,
and yours truly, No Radio.
yep. Cave said he was
The
running
Metro may
a
come by.
tad bit behind. And there you
Tell
go again.
Mitchell's not invited, sir.
No, we don't want him. Hold on.
No, but actually, I was
In the right
surprised with
channel.
the AT&T getting 100 on was it band 5 and band 12.
All you gotta do is find a site that's not loaded down, and you can do that.
There you go.
Just 2 sites and it's over 100.
That's it. It's not loaded. Just gonna do that. All
What's
I'm
the problem
saying
with
is, I'm talking about
T-Mobile?
before 5G was even a conversation. I was pulling out 70 to 100 on T-Mobile with nothing
Bro,
but
did
2
you
and
see the
66, all the way back in like 2017, 2016. So 100
did
meg
you
is not that impressive in 2022.
no, did you see what's his name? Brandon's tweet?
No.
Which one?
It was Neville Ray saying that 4G and LTE is useless and that we're moving to 5G basically, and that 5G is the new standard and 4G is useless.
Well, let's just
Well,
be real. 5G
well,
is
here's
the
the
new
thing. Why?
monetization. It's not useless. It's just not. It's just useless to them for
But that's the
monetary
thing.
purposes.
Why
Let's
would
be
you?
real.
Why would you sit around and wait for it? Like, I don't understand. Yeah, you built a 4G network, but I'm not.
You,
If I was T-Mobile, I wouldn't wait around for it so I can make money off of it anymore.
no, but my thing is saying that LTE is useless right now. Like, come on, bro.
Here's the
There's no
thing.
You remember they're trying to direct a narrative, Ashay. It's a narrative
Yes.
of 5G. You can't
yeah,
say you can't champion how great 4G still is if you're trying to remove yourself from it in the public eye.
yeah.
So you'd be irresponsible to be like bragging on 4G like
All
some
right.
other
So,
company did, but we ain't gonna talk about them.
oh no, we about to talk about them. Hold on one
I mean,
second.
I'm just saying that this second we're gonna give them a break for this second, but not for this hour.
Oh no, I'm not even giving them a second. I'm giving them a second. Screw it. Here you go. So I've been itching to talk about this one. Bam.
Mitchell Wireless. I'm ready.
Ash, I'm not gonna say what I want. Just remember, I'm not going to say what I want. Verizon claps back at T-Mobile on price strategy.
I can't say that.
Oh, you talking about the clap back?
The clap back, son. The clap back.
I mean, they were clapping
Now,
with no hands over there, but we ain't gonna do
so
nothing. We
you
ain't gonna.
said, did you say, look, ma, no hands?
Now, hypothetically,
Oh
if I
Lord, here we
got this
go.
from a
Here we
source,
go.
hypothetically,
Here come the BS. Go
maybe
ahead.
Verizon is putting more energy in keeping customers, trying to keep customers, than get new customers. Just a hypothetical thought.
They're
Wait,
saying
say that
don't run
again.
over to the don't you. They're saying don't run over there to the other guys. They're trying to trick you.
Um, maybe hypothetically, you know.
Hold on a second. Hold on. So what you're saying is Verizon is seeing their numbers being ported out, and they're afraid, and now they gotta say something to little old T-Mobile now. Is that what you're saying? 'Cause that's what I get
Yes,
from reading this article. I don't know what you get. I
that's what I
see
got.
Verizon
That's
going
what he
heck
just
another
said,
number.
Keon. He said the same thing you said, just a
No, no,
different
no,
way.
no, 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 no. Ash is faking right now. This is fake A.
I
No,
I'm
know.
there
talking
may be
about
a
I'm talking
person that
about
I
triple
talked
A.
to. There
Triple
may be a
A
person that I
yesterday was
talked
talking
to.
about, they still are, the best company ever.
Right now, I would still take Verizon over T-Mobile
Oh,
any day of the week.
And what would be your main concerns and disparities between the two? What concerns
mm,
you personally?
My personal the thing is, I'm in Jersey, so like even when I go down the beach, there's hot spots for T-Mobile. T-Mobile works good in hot spots, but then there's places where it just isn't there.
So basically, just T-Mobile's bad in your region.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
If it was consistent, yeah. Like even what's his
Yeah,
name? PA Adventures. He did a live stream there, and he said T-Mobile was good, and then he moved his car, and then he was getting like 4 or 5 megabits down. I'm like, great, you
Okay.
got 400. And then the next cell site you go down, you go 10. What's that?
but I can do the. Well, see, the thing is, I can recreate that on Verizon.
Yeah.
So
See, I
I would
can't do that.
understand. I would understand that argument if that didn't also happen on Verizon. The point is, none of them are great everywhere. Okay,
Oh,
so
100% agree.
it's best for you to just say where I'm at, but to say that
Yeah,
one carrier is better at this point is really hard because I can go and get 300 down on Verizon, and then just around the corner can barely get 1 meg. So I mean, so 4, I would have been happy to see 4. Like on my house tower, I'd be happy to see 4. Okay, so it's the same thing in different regions. For me, Verizon's #1 for calling. That's the only thing that they do better than,
100%,
in my honest opinion. That is the only thing they do
100%.
literally better than everyone.
Yep.
Data, they're behind both T-Mobile and Verizon on. T-Mobile and AT&T on data. They just are.
Now my thing is, I was talking to someone. I was talking to Ian. Not Ian. Yeah, Ian, the dude in Texas, and he said that with T-Mobile entering 5G NR, it's just gonna make it better. Is that gonna actually happen? Just by T-Mobile doing the 5G NR, it's just gonna magically make the call quality
Well,
better?
well, no. So here's the thing. I've never had a call quality issue on T-Mobile either. So when people tell me this, I'm like, are y'all over there trying to make #1 hip hop records on a phone call? Because I don't need studio quality on my phone call. I just need my call not to drop. Call
Yeah,
quality and a call
Oh yeah,
dropping
call
is not the
dropping.
same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's
Oh
not
yeah,
call
my bad.
quality.
No,
That's
radio.
not
You
call.
call it in your bars. Is that what you're saying? You like,
Well, I'm
yo, I got
saying,
these fire
I'm just
bars,
saying, call
man.
quality is not calls dropping. So the other thing, I didn't have calls drop. The only problem I had with T-Mobile was sometimes getting the call to start in the first place. Every time my calls were able to start, I was able to drive 1 hour, 2, 3 hours distance and still not drop a phone call. So in my market, that wasn't an issue. I only had one issue with T-Mobile, one and one only. That
Because in
was
my market, I
after
still remember.
5G calling started having troubles going through. My calling was actually better before 5G kicked in with T-Mobile.
Because in my market, I still remember I was testing out. It was AT&T and T-Mobile for call quality, and like the everything call quality, the sound and everything. So me and Brandon, I was calling him to college, and I got there no problem because I was using AT&T. Same thing on T-Mobile, bro. We can barely hear each other. It got disconnected 2 times. Like it wasn't a fun time.
Well, I'll tell you my issue. That Verizon call quality doesn't help me and my wife when she always wants to talk on speaker and I'm always on Bluetooth. Those two things don't go together. So it doesn't matter. It was studio quality. Still don't work. So I'm saying some of this stuff is objective. Some of this stuff is
Now
not.
my thing is with 5G NR, doesn't it automatically go down to 4G?
You're
Because
supposed to be able to switch back.
What are you talking about?
So the 5G, you make a call 5G NR, it goes into the server, and doesn't that server have to be upgraded in order to take the?
Well, yes, but we got to realize it's just codecs. Okay, it's a codec.
Okay.
The whole point of a codec is that the network is currently limited by a bit rate that they have preset.
Oh, we got an echo.
Yeah, 1 second, guys.
Okay, no problem.
So Ash is talking about this subject right here. So give me 1 second.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Give me one moment because I know where Ash is going.
Yeah, he's talking about. So I can actually make this very simple. If you call somebody who has a phone that doesn't have HD voice, then guess what? Your call's not HD voice. So if you're on 5G and you call somebody that has a non-5G in our phone, then the call's not going to be 5G. That's very simple. That's not complicated.
I wasn't told that. I thought it would still.
It doesn't. Okay, so once again,
That's what I thought. It didn't make any sense.
Well, that's common sense. What I'm saying is that problem is still present now. Look at AT&T customers. If you don't use an AT&T approved device, you don't get HD voice.
That's true.
So that means even the people on AT&T now on LTE ain't getting the same call quality.
So Ash, you're relating to this, right? They're them bragging about no, this is the wrong one.
You talking about money? You talking? I did see
Them
they're gonna
moving to 5G,
Mhm.
5G voice over 5G. Because
That is-
Brandon did a tweet about it and was like, but it won't work or something.
I mean, they're just gonna up the bit rate, guys, because they have more data available.
Yeah, it's I feel
I
like
mean,
if they,
that's
if
it.
they,
It's not a complicated. It's not that complicated.
but is it gonna solve all that like drop calls and like
But no, coverage
barely
solves that.
hearing you?
Coverage solves that no matter what
Coverage,
technology the calling is.
low band coverage solves that.
Something that they
There's
literally
no way
didn't
to
have.
like there's no loophole or anything like that for T-Mobile that they can use,
What do you mean loophole?
like to figure a way to make it so that it
I
doesn't
swear,
drop or
everybody acts like they've had low band since the beginning of conception, like the other carriers. They
T-Mobile has
literally
not had
still
low
have
band.
to build the. Say what?
T-Mobile doesn't have low band everywhere.
No, that's you're saying the same thing as me, Ashay. I'm saying you act like they started the race with it. They literally didn't get low band until 10 years after they started building the network. 10, 12 years later. And now everybody expects it to be the same in one day.
Where's that article?
So the point is the call quality, the first issue with T-Mobile is the call quality first started from having coverage issues. That was number one.
There's
Now
always coverage issues.
They're trying to fix the coverage issues. Once they fix the coverage issue, that solves about 85 to 90% of the call quality issues.
There we go.
That's the first step.
Got
the
it.
second step is making sure that their switching systems, whatever they're using, are set up properly and running properly.
So T-Mobile has their own switching systems. I thought they relied
you
on
can't
Verizon.
run you can't have phone calls without switching. And you're talking
No,
about
but I thought
interchange.
they.
You're talking about
Oh,
interchange.
Ash.
You're confusing two different things.
Oh, my bad.
Ash, do you think the company can't breathe on its
No,
own?
my bad. I
Like,
thought was
okay,
I was
I'm
controlled with
surprised they actually have
interchange.
internet.
So if you remember, we actually spoke with a certain person. I ain't gonna say their name, but he was talking about how he's seen some of their towers that didn't have the upgraded device for the calling, where it could hold more phone calls. Do you not remember that, Ashay? I'm talking about. There's local devices on the tower site that control calling. It ain't all core stuff. Core is just part of it.
The baseband is what controls the calling.
Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of these different things. You gotta realize this is a network that was stuck together from a bunch of different networks.
That's the reason why moving to 5G gives you more capacity, because the basebands are upgraded also.
Just like the concerns that all the concerns I hear about T-Mobile, right? I have never in my life had such a bad experience on a network until I went to Orlando on Verizon. I have never in my life seen a network run so horribly. It's worse than T-Mobile has ever been. I promise you.
That's
You got me, my wife, and everybody got 5 bars and can't load web pages.
Congestion is real, son.
Try to play a video. What I'm saying is, them nightmares that people talk about on T-Mobile, those things are present in certain places in all.
Wait. No, radio. What would happen if you wasn't able to make a 911 phone call? Oh God.
That's another point that I guess in some states it doesn't work this way, but in my state, it will just route you to another carrier.
Probably.
No, that's all carriers. That's
so
an
I
FCC
don't know
mandate.
that's why whenever everybody was shouting that from the rooftops, people couldn't call 911. Something else is wrong then.
No, isn't it an FCC mandate?
I don't know. That's why I said
that's
I don't
what
know.
I think it is.
It probably is a
that's
mandate.
what Carlos said.
Never been a 911 calling issue here.
Yeah, he said that they redirect on to if I don't know if
even if you don't have service,
can't call.
I could pull a phone out of a dumpster and call 911.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't advise anyone to try that. We did not tell anybody to try that.
Yeah. No trying. I
don't
need
go
the
into
police
the
calling
dumpster
me.
diving.
Hey, why'd you tell him? Why'd you tell Shay? If Shay told you to call 911, why'd you tell these people?
But like I said, I think the networks are getting closer and closer every day to being more and more alike than different.
And what do you think is going to be? I feel like at that point, it's going to be within 5 to 10 years, the networks are all going to be similar. And
They're
by
already
that time,
there now.
Mhm.
depending on where you are.
Yeah, it depends where you
They're
are.
already at that point now. I mean, here's the thing. You want to go nitpick? Let's see. You could find a tree somewhere that AT&T and Verizon will have coverage around, but T-Mobile will drop right behind that tree. Fine, let's nitpick. There you go.
Yeah, but
You
I can
know,
take you to a place right now where you're gonna have to hotspot your Verizon phone to a T-Mobile device just to get a connection.
see.
Done it.
Hey, look, there's a drive that I go through every day, and literally it passes in front of Homeland Security, and every single cell phone that I have acts up. I've had customers in the backseat of my car all of a sudden pass that same point, drops a call. So, I mean, and they'll be on AT&T or Verizon. So, how do you account for that?
As I said,
All the carriers drop.
same thing I said a long time ago. Every company is great somewhere, and every company is bad somewhere. I don't care
Yeah,
how you.
it just depends where you're at. Like I've had customers that legit a lot of when I used to work at AT&T, a lot of customers come and they're like, "Yeah, T-Mobile doesn't work at my work. I gotta switch," and it makes sense. It's like it don't work where you work. All right,
Exactly.
move
I
on.
mean, if it don't, I mean, there's not much you can do about it. Only thing you got to do is wait, and then which company is value
Good
you
there.
as a customer, and is going to go out there and try to fix it.
Just like I said, I barely ever make phone calls. I could have stayed on T-Mobile just fine. For my
Yeah.
wife, that was a deal breaker. So we can't blanket something as being the greatest ever if it doesn't satisfy everyone's need. Verizon doesn't satisfy my data needs right now.
You should try this company. Have you heard of them? It's called AT&T.
Oh no, the AT&T plug. And
Here it
what
is.
makes you What makes you think AT&T is better? Shoot, man, I was barely getting 2-3 megabits per second in front of the Walmart.
I was just messing around with him because he hates
But
AT&T. That's why.
I say we're headed for an era where those three are going to be so close.
Yeah,
It's literally their game to lose at this point.
yeah. Because right now Verizon looks like they just want to keep their customers, and we'll see when does Q2 end. Do you know when
I'm sorry.
Q2 ends?
End of June.
Hold on. Say it again. Say that one more time.
End of
When does
June. End of this month.
end of June? Holy shoot! End of June.
Orders 3 months.
And there's been sources leaking out that hey, Verizon's not doing well. What do you think
Yeah.
of? Now,
Hey, look.
how
What was
much you
it?
would bet,
Tyrone?
Edmund? Yeah, how much would you bet, Edmund, that Verizon has lost customers basically
No, I know they have.
for Q2? Yeah,
Look.
we already
Here you
know
go.
for
Here you go. Here you go.
Q1, but what
Do
about
you know? Do
Q2?
you want to know how I know they're starting to feel the pain? Is
Oh,
when
yeah,
you start calling out your competition's BS. Like if you were doing
yeah,
good, you would never mention them because you'd be like, you don't want to give them any oxygen at all. But the second you start going, oh, we're going to set the record straight. Oh, you're losing. You're starting to lose.
yeah. They're starting to lose. And they're giving out these discount coupon codes.
Well, it's scattershot because what? No Radio got one, and I got one, and mine was only like $10 off my bill, and he got one for 25.
Nope, I did not. My plan doesn't qualify.
Oh, see, mine. See,
It's 3 lines or less.
see, I wouldn't be able to do it either. I was only
So
on one line.
all they're doing is basically offering the pricing you would get for 4 lines for 3 lines.
Wait. So
That's
are you telling me that
if you do the
they're trying
math.
to do the fourth line free? Is that
No,
what they're doing?
they're doing it in a roundabout way because they're basically offering you the pricing you would get per line if you had a 4-line plan. That's what they're doing.
They're discounting a line. Who would ever thought? But yeah, hey, look, whenever the top, the top guy in the room punches down, they raise that guy that they punched up. And that's what Verizon's doing to T-Mobile. They've been ignoring them for years. They've been called dumb and dumber for years. All of a sudden, now you got to call out BS.
Because
What do you think?
Because what is it? If you do 4 lines, what, $45 a line, $180 on Verizon, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we minus $25, so that 155 with 3 lines, you're almost better just getting the 4th line than getting the 25 off of your 3 lines.
Well.
Yeah, you know how T-Mobile used to do? They would do your first line was 70 on Magenta, then they would do 2 lines for what was it, 120, and then you get the 3rd line free. That's what they used to do. And I even got a 4th line free back then. So I had 2 free lines, 2 paid lines.
On Verizon?
No, I'm saying on T-Mobile.
Oh.
So
T-Mobile is handing out free lines, bro.
Yeah.
2 lines. Yo, Tyron has he said 3 or 4 free lines?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 to 4 free lines.
Well, hold on. You know that those are accumulated over time. Like that's not, you don't walk into the store and get that.
No, you don't walk in the store and get
that. You basically, like, let's say you're already a customer and then I get the promo on as a text. Hey, you know what? You qualify for this, and then all of a sudden a year go by, and then they be like, yo, if you activate a line, you get another line for free, and then you activate the line, you get the line for free. So now you got 2 extra lines. Like, yeah, you could accumulate a whole lot of free lines on T-Mobile if you just wait for the promos, and they ignore all the rest of the lines you had before.
And the equivalent of doing that would be just simply discounting your plan versus giving you a free line, but it's still free stuff when you do the math.
Now, a good thing,
which tells you that how valuable are people talking on your network.
No, the real reason I feel like right now Verizon and especially Verizon is losing customers right now is they're thinking about themselves as a premium network, which is fine, but they're also including all these perks in. And there's a lot of people that really don't use Disney.
Yep.
And like those perks, if they're not using those perks.
Disney.
I signed up for it, Brandon, and I ain't watched a thing on Disney in probably 3 months.
I mean, I have it. I've watched some stuff.
Because this stuff, I've already seen everything on there. And I've never been a Star Wars fan. I think Star Wars fans are watching Disney. Everybody else is kind of like,
my dad's watching it. He's like, bro, it's the new Star Wars thing came out next week. Make sure it's on Disney Plus. I'm like, okay.
And the stuff that I wish Disney Plus did have, they don't. There's Disney movie. I had to pay for a Disney movie on Prime because they don't have it in Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's like that's ridiculous.
What Disney movie was
that? You really want to know?
Mitch on the Pirates.
Oh, wow.
I'm playing.
And Brandon comes in swinging.
Okay, so I know y'all are talking about pricing. One of the things that's never discussed is that how AT&T gives fiber customers 25% off, nor teachers, people in the medical field and stuff like that. And I think
which is great.
First responders and stuff like that.
Fiber coverage is almost non-existent, but do we even want to go there?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Bring the smoke. Bring the smoke.
I'm just saying, it's like,
but basically,
let's offer something only 20% of the population can touch.
But basically, like most people probably could get a discount to a point where it's almost at T-Mobile pricing, if not cheaper.
Yeah, like I said, it's a roundabout doing the same things. That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
so they're not. So simply because they're not saying the word free lines, but they're giving you the equivalent of what a line would cost, it's the same thing.
If they give you $10 off per line, and you have 5 lines or 4 lines, that's $40 off. That's basically a free line.
That's a free line, exactly. Which is why everybody talking about T-Mobile's crazy for free lines. Then all of them are, because if they give you the equivalent in discounts, it's the same thing.
They just don't call
Does
it.
T-Mobile actually give away corporate discounts or no?
Oh yeah.
What the insider discounts? If you
corporate, if that code were to get rid of in a couple of days.
What do you mean corporate discounts? Like employee discounts?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
they do
yeah, but that
70 to 80% off, I think.
Oh wow.
whoa. Explain that again, Ashay. You're saying if I work for UPS, they're giving me 70% off?
No. If you worked at
Explain.
T-Mobile, if you
Oh,
worked
but
at T-Mobile.
yeah, but I
No,
don't.
no,
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 that's
no,
an
no. I'm saying
employee
like
discount. That's not
UPS.
corporate. That's what
That's
he's
not
saying. He's
corporate.
saying like UPS. He's saying like your employer.
Oh,
So I'm saying that used to be a big thing with all the carriers, but they don't do it anymore like they used to. Yeah, there's still some in there, but it used to be a
yeah.
lot of employers,
Oh,
thousands. Those
I
are
remember
gone.
Sprint was crazy for the corporate
Yes,
discounts.
I used to get 25% off Verizon just because of where I work. And it wasn't even a big corporation.
Yeah.
What Spectrum?
No, that is a big corporation, sir.
No, but I
What was
mean,
it, Dish?
basically,
No,
like,
that's a big corporation. How you gonna keep naming big corporations? It's a company you never heard of, and they still had a
Okay,
damn
got it.
discount.
Mr.
That was
Wireless.
my
Got it.
point.
Oh Lord.
My point
Got it.
was they didn't just go for the most gigantic corporations. They would give even companies that were say the company only had 4,000 employees, a small company. They still had all these plans. I remember going in the Verizon store, showing them my employee ID. They looked up my company in the system and applied my discount. That stuff don't exist for these small companies anymore. It's gone.
It's all the big companies nowadays.
Back when I used to work at DirecTV before the AT&T buyout, we were getting 25% off Verizon. That's gone now. It's gone. It doesn't exist.
Mm.
Do you ever think like, because I know for AT&T, there's the Dish thing and the like, what's it called? Like if you had Dish and and you were an AT&T employee when it first came out for like the first year or two, I think it was 2 to 3 years, you wouldn't have to pay. So that DirecTV was free. Do you think they're gonna eventually roll that out and tell those employees, hey, you can't use the
No,
discount anymore? They're
no,
just gonna keep it on and just hit the cost.
no. I think I'm pretty sure that's actually part of a union thing.
Uh,
Yeah,
that's why.
that's in the union thing. They get 50. And I guess I used to get it. It was 50% off AT&T.
No, DirecTV, there's accounts. I've looked at accounts. There's this Indian guy. There's an account that legit, it's free, $0.
Yeah, but that's something special. He might have been like, they might be like a higher part of the corporate, like the base model employee ain't getting that. Remember, some of the benefits. So, for example, if you're an executive, you don't fall under the union. If you're in management, you don't fall under the union. So I'm saying there's probably different tiers of discounts. Same thing, like even my company, right? If you make over a certain amount, your insurance is different for the same coverage an employee that makes under that amount.
You
So
get better insurance or worse insurance?
you pay more because you make more.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean that's why I say that there's levels to this. But for me, I'm gonna tell you why I don't respect the 50% off, even though it's great. Is that AT&T blanketed that across the whole thing. So say you were an employee and you got AT&T fiber, it wasn't free. They still only gave you 50% off. Well, we got other corporations out here that give you that for free. We ain't gonna name no names.
No, but that used to be the thing. If you used to work for DirecTV, you used to get DirecTV for free.
Exactly. No, that's still a thing. And all the AT&T employees got that as well when the buyout happened. But I'm saying is all the AT&T side stuff wasn't free. It was only discounted. DirecTV said service free. AT&T said 50% off. So what happened was all the
That's the same
AT&T
thing with us
employees,
employees.
all the AT&T people, they gained free TV when in the buyout. You know what else? We only gained 50% off. So they got something free. We only got a discount
My
because
thing
we were
is
DirecTV
the
legacy.
employee. Yeah, my thing is that stopped a long time ago. It only happened for a couple of months, and then they got rid of it. The DirecTV shit, like you can't get it for free. And then the employee.
Actually, I stayed around for 2.5 years after the merger, and people were still getting it free. So you said a couple of months is wrong.
I don't know.
I was
mean,
there.
AT&T is gonna move. Is gonna move in silence, dog. They're not gonna rip it. They're not gonna rip the bottle out of your hand.
Bro, do you know how many accounts
in.
we installed for AT&T guys once the merger happened? That's all I was doing for damn near 6 months was installing free DirecTV for AT&T employees, and they kept it for years. It wasn't months. It may be gone now, but I'm saying you came in the game late, actually.
Yeah.
The merger happened the merger started in 2015 and was finalized in 2016. It was years. I didn't leave until 2018. So But yeah, these companies are removing benefits from their employees, cutting pay in different jobs in their companies, and they're raising prices on the employees. While they front face to the community and say they're giving their employees more, they're lying.
Hey, so to segue into this next one, because of AT&T and their fiber, what do you think of this? Share. Researchers in Japan just set a staggering new speed record for data transfer over existing fiber optic.
Because the fiber don't matter. It's the device attached. But here's your biggest problem, though, Keon.
What's the biggest problem?
Whose hard drive can move that much data?
No one's.
There you go. Let's keep it moving.
Where that hard drive is? You have to roast the dude.
Yo, where that hard drive is?
No one's.
Exactly.
No, there's one person that has it. His name is Dennis.
Oh, come on, dude. You calling people names out. Nobody asked you what name it was.
Saying, nobody's hard drive can even move data that fast. So why the internet?
I mean, if you have a server, maybe
even a server, Keon, they're using specialized stuff for this testing. This is stuff that you probably can't even purchase yet.
The thing,
but here's the thing.
Go ahead. The thing is that 95% of Americans in their house do not even have devices that can support that type of speed.
Oh, at that point, I want y'all to know something too. This isn't for residential.
Oh,
just make sure we set that straight. They're using this. Okay, for example, I don't know if you remember, I was telling you how you can have a 10 gig connection, right? But when it hits that interchange, the interchange is your bottleneck. So what needs the upgrade? Your internet speed or the interchange?
The interchange.
There you go. So a lot of times, if you give a customer 10 gig service, it's fine until it hits that server. But if the server can't move that much data through, then what happens? All those high connections get bottlenecked at the server level or at the interchange. So this is more or less for like connecting state to state, not house to the network. This is going to upgrade that in to get some of those bottlenecks out, because as these companies continue to push more and more data to each individual customer, they need the main lines that feed this across the country to be faster. That's what this would be more for.
Yeah,
not
so
for your house.
This is moving petibit per second data. Yeah. This is like going on the backbone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what.
But here's the thing: they don't have to rip out old fiber.
Well, no, they never did.
Fiber in.
That's the argument. Everybody keeps talking about fiber upgrades. They don't know what they're talking about. That's what I keep talking about. I'm like, bro, they don't need to new fiber. There's already fiber there. The existing fiber is already underutilized as it is. Just like coax is underutilized as it is. It's the same scenario. The fiber itself is not the bottleneck. It's the devices talking on it.
Right.
So,
which is why gaming servers have a tendency to have higher throughput speeds versus your local, let's say, email or website that you randomly go to. Totally different architecture.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wanted to find out from y'all how y'all might have thought about that. This is existing. It's over existing fiber optic, not new fiber optic cable, composite. Yeah. Somebody come up with a new formula for fiber. This is jamming more petabits down the same highway.
People put too much into the actual line itself, which is literally they're not even. So I'll give you an example. A regular fiber optic has the equivalent bandwidth of 28,000 megahertz. So just put it to you like that. 28,000 megahertz. So if you think millimeter wave is fast, okay, it's only got what? A couple thousand megahertz?
Yeah.
Let's go 28,000. Everything from
multiple channels.
Imagine everything from 1 megahertz all the way to 28,000 megahertz is all bandwidth. Now that's a big channel.
That is a huge channel.
There you go. But do you think we're utilizing that in today's fiber? No.
You're not even coming close.
Not even close. Remember, fiber's biggest gain is that it's not as lossy as a coaxial. That's its biggest gain.
The only
not
companies I see even probably utilizing this, if it starts jumping up, would be a Google, a AWS, or Microsoft with Azure. Like they would benefit from this because they can move a lot more data a whole lot faster, right? Larger
Yeah.
amounts of data
Well,
faster.
it's not going to be them. It's going to be the people who serve them. AWS is not running their own fiber all over the place.
But I'm talking about with them being connected to fiber.
Yeah, but
fiber nodes.
what I'm saying is the backhaul providers that no one talks about, that you don't, the names you've never heard of that exist out here.
Right.
Those are the ones that this really comes back to.
Level 3.
Yeah.
You know,
Level 3.
do you remember the name of that
AKA
company?
Fiber, AKA Google, or was it Verizon, or was it Fiber One, or what do you want to call it? One Fiber.
One Fiber,
which is also known as MCI.
Do you remember the name of that company?
Segra is that company.
Oh yeah.
I found a site today that they literally just ran fiber to. A Segra site they just upgraded for Dish. They just ran a new fiber in for them. Like I said, there's a bunch more like this all over. Those are the ones that are going to really need this, and that's if they get that involved. But absolutely, you got 1,000 sites in a city, and you want to link that from here to across the country. You might that's where you need that super high speed, not from that site to the local hub or local V hub, whatever it may be. But when you combine all them sites together on one feed, then you need this. So
it's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
No, Radio. So, what would happen if people were to actually use their entire speed as they're paying for?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even now, even if your provider tells you you're getting a certain speed, they can't change what happens at the interchange level.
No, but I'm saying, like, how would the network?
What I'm saying is they can't use their full speed, and it's not just their connection. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They can't because of the current backbone can't handle it. That's why I tell you, you can look up articles now on the internet of people that are paying for like 10 gig connections, but they're only averaging 2 to 3 gig. It's not because their local provider isn't giving them that. It's because once it hits the interchange, it gets bottlenecked because of the other 1,000 people trying to use 10 gigs at the same time.
Right.
That's where it gets cloudy. Where for give you an example. If you've got a Microsoft server, right, and at the Microsoft facility, they're on AT&T's internet, right? But AT&T internet runs back through their hub to their whatever they want to call their head in or whatever, and then it hits over to the interchange, right? Now the interchange has to transfer it from them over to another company, so they have to change it over to Google Fiber now. Your stuff doesn't just go through Google when you're on Google. It goes through Google and then it connects to the server through whoever that other company's connection is through. It's not Google all the way there or Spectrum all the way there. There's always a handoff. The only way you can get around this is if everybody had the same internet provider. And instead, they have to all meet at these interchanges. And all that data gets bottlenecked when it gets there. It all gets backed up. That's where the long line is at. The long line ain't in your neighborhood. The long line is at the interchange. That's why I tell you some of these higher speeds they're talking about are useless in most cases because it's not because of your local situation. It's wherever the meeting place is.
Yep, and that's the only thing that matters.
Mm-hmm. If Microsoft can only upload 1 gig, it doesn't matter if you have 5 gig service. All they can send it to you at is 1 gig.
Which is why I'm sitting around waiting for Comcast to finally upgrade their services.
Yeah, but you're still going to be limited by whatever server you're trying to pull your services from, regardless of what they do on their end.
Yeah, that's the only problem I have right now. Look, with Brandon being in Texas, like, yeah, I guess you're going to see it before I ever come see it here in DC.
Well, they might be moving in silence up there. You don't know.
You never know.
You never know.
You might get it in December or November. No.
I'm not holding my breath.
No, I'm being for real because the Northeast. I mean, you're closer to the Comcast HQ than I am.
That always doesn't mean anything.
That don't mean anything.
It don't always mean.
Understand something. Sprint headquarters was in like Missouri, Kansas
Kansas
City,
City.
Missouri, right?
And Missouri
But
is
they-
trash for all
But
providers.
their service was sucked there. Like they paid more attention to Chicago than they ever did Missouri. They were like,
they went for the
Chicago,
money. They go for the money.
So yeah, that location don't mean nothing.
It's kind of interesting how fast Comcast transformed a Time Warner Cable here in Houston. Because in 2006 they used to be Time Warner Cable, and then Comcast brought it out.
Yeah, but it's not that complicated in the cable network.
Yeah. No, but I remember when people first got. I remember when they transitioned from the Time Warner cable systems to the Comcast systems, people were mad because some of the boxes weren't working and stuff like that, and people were having outages, and I was just like, wow. But now, I mean, who knew that we would ever get Comcast? And I mean, pretty much Spectrum and Comcast are pretty much neck to neck on a lot of the things they do now.
Yeah, just keep in mind, we all go through cable labs. We all use a lot of the same standards.
Right.
So it's not as far as the physical layer, it's not that much of a difference. It's mainly the back end stuff that you can't see. That's the difficult parts.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me get y'all opinion on this story, which me personally, find very surprising coming from different analysts right now. So wait for it.
Bring on the spaghetti.
We have had other conversations with some dish advocates, and this I haven't heard this yet. So analysts peg voice as potential wrinkle in dish 5G rollout.
Don't tell me they're gonna have bad voice like T-Mobile.
Oh God, no!
Oh, please. I'm praying to God.
Let's read the article.
All right, so speed reader, no radio.
Want me to read it? Here we go.
No, we need to get Dennis in here. He'll tell the TLDR
Here,
for us.
oh Lord.
By all indications, this network will meet its FCC mandate of offering 5G network at least 20% of the U.S. population by June 14th. Company executives have said so, and no red flags have gone up to signal otherwise. If there is any wrinkle, analysts at New Street Research think it exists in the form of voice rather than 5G broadband service. The analyst provided an update Wednesday after the FCC last week released a notice opening a docket designed to monitor whether Dish is in compliance with T-Mobile Sprint merger conditions, including the one about reaching at least 20% of the U.S. population by June 14th. Our understanding is that making standalone 5G voice services called Voice over NR or VONR or Voice over New Radio work seamlessly has proven challenging for the industry at large. The New Street analyst wrote, while VONR is working for Dish in Las Vegas, our sense is that it has been tough to optimize it in other markets, and specifically to accomplish seamless handoffs between VONR and Dish Network and VoLTE or Voice over LTE on either LTE or T-Mobile. So they're saying the handoffs when roaming.
So as soon as they leave their own standalone network, then falling back is the problem.
Yeah, but I mean, I can see this because I've spoken to you before about how I noticed when I hand off to say millimeter wave, the phone kind of just like can't make its mind up for a second,
right,
about whatever it's doing, and it'll literally go slower, and to the point sometimes you have to airplane mode the device and then come back for it to actually work.
Right.
Like even now, handing off is not smooth between just 5G in general. It's not smooth as it should be, or is I'll take that back, as we want it to be.
Right.
So voice is real time. It can't have a hiccup in real time.
It has to be seamless. It has to know that it's
seamless.
Like the way that cell phones work is they know the other cells in the cluster that they're handing off to, so they can handshake and move along the network without any problems.
Yeah.
So it's having a hard time revolting back from NR to LTE.
So basically, you're riding around on Dish's native coverage, and as soon as you drop off AT&T, you drop your call and you got to call again.
So is it? Do you think they're going to be able to fix it? Is it like something they can do to make it so that it's a smooth transition?
So basically,
yeah, but can they make that transition smooth? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
What it sounds like is that it ain't going as smoothly as they thought as far as switching between the two technologies. Going from true standalone to back to LTE is harder than going from NSA back to LTE. Because at least in the NSA standing, the LTE is still directing the force, meaning it's still directing the choir to tell what it needs to do to hand off properly.
So like right now, one of the things that you can, if you in an area where there's standalone for T-Mobile, if your phone is in standalone and you haven't done anything to the phone, it will literally drop back down to LTE to make the phone call. It won't even try to initiate the phone call on NR. Now the other places they just announced, they said they do, but right now they're just toying with it so they can get it right.
Yeah, so it's getting to a point where they're going to have to drop that fallback. It's going to have to go away.
Yeah, my thing but the problem is that there's still problems because Ian from Texas, he's like one of the smart guys, but he was doing a testing where he was calling T-Mobile his phone on what's it called, NR, like only NR, and he couldn't make the phone call. But when he turned it off, it's standalone. The phone call worked, but it dropped him down to. It was first NR and then it dropped him down to LTE.
Yeah.
So that technology isn't ready yet.
No, well, here's the thing. Like if I was able to be in like Portland or Salt Lake City right now, then you will be able to see the actual phone call when you open the service menu, right? So if nobody's ever done this, like you can see what band your phone locks onto to make a phone call.
Yeah, for a while here, I was able to do actually standalone phone calling, locking 71 in.
Right, and I've done the same thing.
They turned it off.
Yeah, but the problem is he said that it wasn't consistent. Like he was able to do it a couple times, but then it just stopped working a couple
That's what I was telling you, actually. I was telling you how I was having phone call issues where it wouldn't put a phone call through at all. That's what I was telling you earlier. Same thing.
Oh, yeah.
And this is probably even worse because it's going from true standalone to LTE.
And it has to do that.
Meaning, if you're on dish, you're literally no LTE. You're on no LTE whatsoever while you're on that dish. And now it has to not only switch you to LTE, but hand you off to a totally different network. Seamless.
It has to do it.
It has to walk and chew gum same time.
Where AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile have the benefits of at least having their fallback network, and LTE is still there, which being a 5G only, you have to play nice with everybody else. If you don't, you're going to run into problems.
But that's what Not Neville Ray told me. He told me LTE's gone. There's no more LTE.
Oh, come on, man.
Well, because he's probably listen, actually, he might not be wrong. Because think about it. This doesn't exist. Like they just said, it's not happening when you're staying in Dish's coverage. It's only once you leave it. So what basically, if you killed basically what they're saying is you got to go all or nothing. That's kind of what I think Neville Ray is saying. He's saying we kind of got to go all or nothing. Like if we start you on the 5G session for the call, we have to leave you on, or we have problems. That's what he's saying.
So what would happen if I was on a 5G NR call, and then I was driving, and the next cell tower doesn't have 5G NR?
That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it would just drop.
See, non-standalone doesn't have that issue because it's holding it LTE the whole time anyway.
Is there a way to force your phone to make it so that it doesn't do NR?
To force it? I mean, you just turn off the radios.
Yeah, you just turn off
you just go to band. Oh yeah, band selector.
Just go LTE all. Yeah.
You just do LTE all, and it will never do it because the phone call is not happening on NR; it's happening on LTE. So that you don't have to run into that problem with NSA. Now that's why I said that Verizon, AT&T, like even AT&T, basically is like, yo, we're not even going to think about a 5G core right now, so we don't even care. Yep. You know what I mean? And I'm paraphrasing that, of course, but there's an article saying that they're going to they're taking their sweet time firing up their 5G because you can still do NSA and nobody's going to ever really know the difference.
100%.
I mean, I guess it would be one of those things where when LTE first came out, like 10 years ago, whatever, and calls were mainly going on HSPA plus or whatever. Then as years went on, calls most calls started going on LTE and stuff like that, and they started getting less and less job calls and stuff like that. I think
Yeah,
that's what's going to
it's
happen
gonna be
with
the same
5G. Yeah.
That's why I keep saying that all the carriers need to go ahead and designate it dedicated NR. So like Verizon's going to have to just dedicate that band 5 to NR only. That way, if
Right.
you're moving from tower to tower, you can actually keep handing off NR for the time being, versus
Well,
trying to go back and
is
forth.
there a tower? So, I mean, what the majority towers have band 5 on Verizon?
Exactly.
Do you think it's like 90%?
Right now it's only DSS, and you can't do nothing with
Well,
that.
Well, that's not
No,
what he was
like-
saying. He was saying, do the towers have band 5 at all? And the
Like
answer is
90%?
yes,
90%?
if not more, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't find a tower without band 5 in my market. I cannot.
Mm-hmm.
Even though but like I said, that band 5 is on crap because of the DSS. It was fine before DSS. So that's why I said they're gonna have to at some point go, all right, look, this band is gonna be nothing but NR. They're gonna have to do that.
They're gonna have to turn band 5 into their national holding carrier like they did 750.
Yeah, 750 is gonna have to be their LTE, and the band 5 is gonna have to be their NR for now, while they keep transitioning. That way you can get a handoff without having to keep dropping back. That's why I say for this probably to be seamless with the whole dish thing, AT&T is probably going to have to dedicate one of their bands as well to NR only.
Yeah,
they dedicated
to your handed from that.
I mean, that's the only thing I see probably going to fix this issue.
It's going to have to be N5 has to be standalone only for it to work.
For them to go
because they're roaming on AT&T.
Yeah, so every time they get to an AT&T tower, they're having to drop back.
I feel like AT&T is going to play ball.
AT&T is going to drag its feet.
Yeah,
that's what you're going to see.
But I'm saying that's probably where the contention is going to come in at. It's going to be Dish going, yo, these handoffs ain't working. We got to do something different.
Well,
No, Dish slides a couple $2 billion to AT&T and says, "Hey, make it happen."
I don't think that's going to work. Nah,
maybe.
Understand something. Here's the thing. It comes back around to what's important to AT&T. Is FirstNet more important, or is Dish partnership more important?
And I will say this: there's one thing that nobody's talking about. You think AT&T is going to eventually start jumping on Dish too? AT&T customers jumping on Dish,
right?
Oh, so
that would be there goes your incentive right there. If you're in a market where there's already Dish deployed, and you got AT&T customers trying to do 5, if you want to get 5G NR out there faster as far as the voice side, it may be an incentive for AT&T to go ahead and do at least dedicate a band. That way, their customers can actually go ahead and start saying their own standalone. That would be
go ahead.
That's a free trophy. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
My thing is in the contract when like Dish and AT&T signed up for roaming, can AT&T customers roam on Dish?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't hear anything about that, but it only makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, why would it be only a one-way street? There's no reason. Because here's the thing: they're like right now, Dish and AT&T are sharing spectrum too. I mean, they're using their AWS holdings that they can't put on their towers. So why wouldn't they not have some type of agreement where their customers can eventually start going 5G only?
Yep, and they can use Dish as their crutch while they upgrade the other stuff. They could take advantage. We got to realize Dish's network ain't going to have that many customers day one, so it ain't like the AT&T burden would be that bad initially. Plus, it provides more samples for the network.
Now, here's my question. Here's my question: How much of an area needs to be blanketed in 5G for T-Mobile to start lighting up in voice over NR? Because apparently Utah and Portland must be all like over 90% coverage complete.
Well, I mean, it's the same here though. It's the same here. They're over 90% here for NR. You can't find it. I would pay a person $1,000 to find me a T-Mobile site here that doesn't have band 71 NR. I'd put that wager out there. Find me.
I mean, I feel like DC
I won
is
the
next.
wager. I won the wager. No radio. Just look at my homie tower.
No, I said my area, sir. Your area clearly sucks.
but I do feel like DC is coming up next because like I said, I've done that test where I just put my phone on an NR and I can literally just drive around and make phone calls and not drop at all. The only problem I run into is when I get close to hospitals. So, and then it switches over to NR or standalone for N41 once I get close to a hospital.
Listen, that's probably the talk going on in the back room right now is how do we fix this issue and how do we leverage this stuff? It's like leverage our partnerships and deals. We might have to go back into the negotiation room with AT&T again and go, hey, look, we'll let your customers get on this standalone, but we need you to go ahead and dedicate a band. That way we could fix a handoff issue for now. And you get to go ahead and tout that you have standalone.
And it's probably going to be N5 because, I mean, you're shutting down 3G across the board. So
just go ahead and dedicate it.
That's probably what's going to end up being. It's going to be N5 for both Verizon and AT&T. I don't see why it would be anything else.
We're going to have to dedicate a band, man. And if they don't figure out a way to negotiate this, they're just dropping another ball that could have fell right in their court.
Yep.
Fumbling the goods. But
I just didn't think that would be a problem for Dish at this point. That's the reason why that article stood out for me.
Yeah, but you got to realize they're standalone, right?
Right.
But they're roaming. So just think about it like this: the fact that they're going to be roaming so much, that's no different than being non-standalone. Think about it.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? If you're falling back to an LTE network, that sounds like you ain't standalone. You're falling back just because it ain't your network. You're falling back, or you're still falling back.
Right.
So you're riding around Vegas, everything is sweet. As soon as you hit the desert, oh shit, fall back. See, sounds like non-standalone to me, except the linking on AT&T instead of their own LTE.
All right, so
well, we got to give that a term. We got to give it a name.
Clapback? No.
Was that ghost fallback?
Not ghost fallback.
Yes, ghost fallback. Shadow fallback, because technically AT&T's network is their shadow now. It has to follow them everywhere they go. So just in case the dish ain't there, they got to fall on it.
That makes sense.
It's the shadow network. It's your favorite carrier's favorite carrier. You dig?
Wow.
Phone call coming in.
All right.
Do you ever think Dish is going to get an agreement with Verizon, or you think that's over? That whole hype train is over.
Is Dish going to ever agree to be like a partner with Verizon?
Yeah.
Here's the thing: nothing stops them. I would never shut the door on it. It's nothing really would stop them from being a partner. I mean, here's the thing: with your network not being completely built out and having a large customer base yet to work from, you're going to want to have as much advantages as you possibly can. You're going to end up having to partner with a whole bunch of people. Either stay with AT&T and T-Mobile, or do you do all three and leverage all three? But remember, the more companies you bring into the fold, the more problems you bring into the fold too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's also another problem you run into. So if we just read that article about Dish might be having issues with voice over NR fallback, that might just be for AT&T. We didn't talk about T-Mobile. We're not talking about anybody else. We're just talking about one company. Imagine trying to solve the problem for handoff and back to voice over NR for 3 companies. Who do you pick? Which one do you pick for? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the problem you're gonna start running into at that point, is whose technology is going to be better, who's more far along with their LTE handoff technology, AT&T, Verizon, or T-Mobile. Which that goes back to an original subject that I brought up over a year ago, saying that Dish would have been better off being on T-Mobile than would have been AT&T, but nobody listens to me. Because at the rate that T-Mobile was running and putting out N71, it would have been easier for Dish to be on their NR than it would have been for AT&T's NR. But that was just a opinion of mine. All right, so Ash, I got this question for you. Let's see if I can pull this up. Present. I'm not going to play the video because this is on YouTube, and if you're not sure, you shouldn't do it, right? But Florida solar customers and others shocked over new charges on electric bill. So if you ever get a chance, watch this video. So basically, the Florida is mandating or letting like Duke Energy mandate that you have to have a minimum amount on your bill no matter what. So if you have solar on your house, you still paying something to the electric bill, right? Versus what they were told when they got solar on their home.
That's ridiculous.
Well, here's the thing. The idea, now don't get me wrong, when it comes to technology, the idea behind it is basically like you're paying to stay connected. So what happens if there's a cloudy day or there's rain or something happens, right? You're still going to be expected to wanting to pull juice from the grid, right? So yeah, I can understand that, but when people were sold their solar, they were told that, oh, yo, your bill is going to be down to zero and you're going to be selling kilowatts back to the electric company. But now they've changed it and basically like, yo, we don't care how much kilowatts you sell back to us. We still want your money.
Lawsuit.
Oh, I mean, the people are peeved. I mean, look, they're interviewing people in the article in this video, and you could tell that they were like, "Yo, this is not what I was told. This is not what I agreed upon. This is not what I thought it was going to end up being." So I don't know. The legislator, like the Florida legislator, is also agreeing with Duke Energy on this one, also like making everybody uh have a minimum amount. $30, $40, $50 at least. Some of these people were coming from um, electric bills being like $150 a month. They put solar on, went down to nothing, and now they're still mandated to pay.
That's ridiculous. That's like admin if I was using water for a whole month, but I still got charged a water bill.
Yeah. Or you didn't use any water at all.
Yep.
And you still getting charged. They're like, yo, our pipes still are connected to your house. I mean, if you're tied into the grid, you're still tied in.
That'd be like if I have Fios and Spectrum. Fios and Comcast, and because I don't use Comcast charges me monthly $5 a month just because they put their stuff underground. Not underground, but they put our utilities at my street.
Right.
I'm not using it, but they're like, yep, we got to pay you because we have our services there.
mean that from my point of view, that I see that's going to be the hardest thing about future growth. What a
100%.
Duke Energy is seeing is more people are gravitating towards solar, and they just want to make sure they get some type of money out of people. You know what I mean?
It's all about money.
Well, it's always about money. Understand? Did you know? In like, I think somebody told me in Oklahoma, like they don't even want you to have solar. It's all about keeping people dependent on the infrastructure itself. It should never be that way, but that's kind of what the society we live in is. How can we keep you, dependent on us, no matter who is us is, like right now. Oh, we don't want to sell you the battery. We want you to lease it. That way that we're always inside your back pocket.
The only reason why I like leasing it with what's the company called?
What
Uh,
you talking about? Solar City,
no, VinFast cars
VinFast. Oh yeah.
where they lease the battery and it's like $10-15 a month at 70%. They just give me a free battery, and if something happens with the battery a year in, it ain't my problem because I'm renting it.
You know what? Here's the thing. How long is some of these chemistries on these batteries? Because what happens if they get the chemistry to damn near foolproof? Now they still are leasing batteries that could easily go a long time, and
Oh yeah,
they reap the benefit instead of the market proving that batteries are good. That company could have a chemistry in their batteries that doesn't degrade massively over time.
but that's a long ass time. Batteries degrade so fast, bro. Right now.
Right. I mean, look, here's the thing. You got some Teslas that don't need a battery replacement at all.
Yeah, the actual amount of people that need replacements is actually not that high.
But that's the thing. It still scares enough people that make it go, oh, I want a guarantee. And when you get to that point, like, utilities are like, hey, we want to get a piece of that pie. That's what they seeing.
Yep.
I mean, from what I've seen about solar, like Solar City's model, I hate that model. I hate the idea that I put something on top of my house that I pay mortgage on, and I'm leasing it from you. Like, don't make any sense. Like, this is give me the option to buy it, and if I want to upgrade, then charge me for the upgrade if I want to upgrade. But don't sit here and be like, yeah, everything that I put on your home and the bolts inside of it is not yours.
Well, like I said, that's a double-edged sword, though, Keon. It's a
It is a double-edged sword.
The problem is you're going to be mad either way. You realize that, right?
Oh yeah. Hey, look,
you're going to be mad if you own it, and you're going to be mad if you don't own it. You're not. The point is, you're never going to be happy with it.
I don't necessarily think that you would be mad if you don't own it.
Yeah, you just said you don't want that. You just said you didn't want it. So here's, like, we already know the leasing option means you lose the responsibility portion.
Right.
The owning option means you take all responsibility.
That's true.
So which one is better for your wallet?
Well, I would say something in between. Split the baby.
Explain that. You want half the panels to be theirs?
No. Let me have a lease to own. You know what I mean?
Explain how that would work, sir.
I mean, I don't know how it would work because you have to look. I'm just throwing it out there. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, but you're throwing it out without even thinking it through. That's what I'm asking. You got to think it through before you pose a point.
That's true.
What would be the benefit of leasing to own it?
Because let's say that as the car,
take it back.
No. But here's the thing. Imagine doing that for some tires, right? Yeah, I know my tires are gonna wear out, right?
Right now, if I could pay so for the prices of tires, right? If we look at the grand scheme of the price of tires for a regular consumer, we only need tires like every 3 to 5, depending.
Right.
Okay. If you tell me that for $1 a month, I ain't never got to buy tires again, I'm down.
Hell yeah.
Because that's cheaper than buying the tires.
Yeah, at $1 a month, sure.
But that's my point.
But
We're talking about on the scale. So a set of tires on a regular car, not an SUV, not some supersized rims, a regular car, you can get a set of 4 tires for under $600. If I pay $1 a month and them tires last me 5 years, and say you guarantee the tires for a certain amount of years, that's a good deal. Now, if you look in the big truck tire market, I don't know if you know, but they actually refurbish tires. Like they put brand new tread and all on it. There is models where that works already, where they retread tires. So a company could lease tires to you and actually save both of you money and the environment.
That's true.
Why would that be so bad?
That wouldn't be bad. I'm just saying that.
So the battery thing is the same thing. Like the electric car battery, it's the same principle. When those battery packs start failing, it ain't the whole pack. It'll be a couple cells. So for the company that's doing the rent model or lease model for it, they're going to salvage the good cells and make a new pack and put that in the next car. That's less batteries getting thrown out, and that's customers not having to fork over 15, 16, 20 grand all at once to buy a battery. So that's why I say it's a double benefit. The environment and the consumer and the company. The owning is overrated in a lot of things because people always, like my brother-in-law, he's finding out right now that home ownership means that you got to fix shit when it breaks. Okay? He's had to get his well. He had to have his well worked on like 4 times already. His lights in the kitchen messed up. He's got some stuff, and I'm just like, bro, but it's yours, right? Can't nobody raise your rent because you're an owner. So whatever your mortgage was, as long as you didn't sign some crappy adjusted rate mortgage crap, your rent going up like all the people who are renting right now. But that's a home.
Who's into owning a home and don't realize that it's your
everybody, sir. And if you haven't owned a home, you think you know. That's my point. You think you know, but you don't really know. It's like, I'm gonna tell you something. You'll never realize how many light bulbs is in a house till you own one. you probably think like light bulbs are like they're not that big a deal. Yeah, until you count them and realize you got 95 of the damn things. You go, Jesus.
Yo,
you know what? They all start going bad at the same time too. They be like, you be like 20 of them at once.
Hey, check this out on the radio.
Silly, but I'm telling you, it starts to add up.
Hey, check this out. When I was driving a cab, I had a customer, and I used to do special runs for him because he was blind, and he had a wife and a daughter, and his house was beautiful inside. It was nice tall ceilings and everything. Mm-hmm. But I asked him, I said, so how much is your electric bill? He said his electric bill per month was like $350 a month.
He blind. Right? He can walk around in the dark. What's wrong with him?
No, but what about his baby and his wife, man?
Hey, get them. Tell them to go in one room with light and the rest of the house dark. He said, welcome to my experience. There you go.
But check this out. I had said to him, I said, well, just switch over to LEDs. He was like, well, what that's gonna do? I said, it's gonna drop your electric bill. He went in there into Costco and wiped them all out. I was like, how many bulbs do you have in your house?
Yeah, it's more than you think. You don't realize how many
wiped them out, and then he come back and told me, like, yo, that was the best advice anybody could ever gave him.
Same thing.
Because it dropped his electric bill like 30%. Yep.
If you got an older home, upgrade your air conditioning system. Telling you, upgrade your air conditioning system. That's your biggest usage. Your heat and air is your highest part of your light bill. Heat and air. Your lighting is only like maybe 10, 20% at the most, depending on the size of the home. But most of it is heat and air. Everything else is redundant.
If I ever get to the place where I own a home, I'm walking around with candles. Everybody getting candles.
Them lights ain't gonna save you that much. It's that heating and air system that's gonna get you. That's why everybody now is doing the mini split model with the active cooling. That way, it only cools the rooms you're in.
Right.
So you're not basically cooling down a whole 3,000 square foot crib when you ain't even going. You ain't been in that room in a week, and it's cool as hell up in there. Ain't nobody enjoying that cool.
Right. So you talking about those ones where it sits over top of like the doorway?
Well, you can do those, but they actually have some that they hook up and look like regular air conditioning systems. They don't actually have a thing on the wall. You can get some that they've got mini splits that you can actually put in the attic, and it'll blow through a regular looking vent. And then you do active cooling on the house, where you're only cooling zones. So they've got compressors that go outside that can run 6 of those. You can do 6 zones in your house with one of those. They probably got something bigger than that too. But if you only need to cool certain areas, you cool those areas, not the whole house. So, yeah,
Right.
the tacky ones are the ones you see sticking out of the wall, but they've got some, they call them a mini air handler, and they're just little air handlers that go, you can put them in individual rooms, and it looks like regular air vents. You can't even tell. They just run off one compressor that goes outside. But like I said, there's a lot of little stuff like that you could do to bring down your energy bills. Now, as far as I was muted earlier, but you guys talking about Duke Energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they polluted the crap out of some water. They polluted the crap out of some lake, and now they've raised all their rates to make everybody pay for it when they should be the ones paying for it, and the government let them do it.
How dare they?
My light bill went from $185 to $235.
What?
Yep, because of that. They're making us pay for it.
Wow.
So what's happening, these people with this solar, they already got their solar system. Everything was good for a few years, and then all the rates went up. And some of them ended right back where they were at.
Yep.
Because it ended up right back where they were at. So that solar system now useless.
I'm telling you, see, if these companies keep doing what they're doing, right, people are going to just get to the place, and the technology is already getting closer and closer to it. They're just going to disconnect. They're going to be like, look, I don't want your shit. And then they're going to pull the plug and be like, nah, I don't hook up my house.
Yeah, you're going to have a bunch of battery. You're going to have big battery backups and all kinds of systems
But
and
here's the
stuff
thing,
you run
the
at night.
technology's already there. Like,
yeah, but it's the money. It's the money, Keon. That's the part that ain't there. The average consumer.
Thing, like,
do you know how many batteries it takes to run a house all night while there ain't no sun?
Wait a second. Hold on, no radio. Hold on. Give me a second. Because if you go on YouTube and look, you can look this up for yourself. There's this one called the liquid battery. Okay. It literally it doesn't use any lithium. It uses a different chemistry, right? And it's like the size of a small barn.
Exactly. How much is it?
They don't have any. They're doing major right now. They're doing like real major backup for major companies. But here's the thing: they back them in on container trucks. So they use container trucks to move them around. But the thing is if you need to back up a home, it will probably be the size of a big oversized outhouse, right?
Yeah. But
you can run your home. You can run your home on it.
Yeah, but here you go. People that live in HOAs where they can't put buildings and things like that in their property. It's all kinds of stuff that goes into it. It ain't people like me in the country. I can get away with it,
right?
But the average person can't. They don't even have a place to put it.
But here's the thing: look at how much Duke Energy's charging you, right? And if you wanted to price all that, and let's say you put solar on your home, and the price of that liquid battery came to like a certain amount.
It's going to be like 50, 60, 70 grand for that battery probably. And then the solar installs another 35,000. Most people can't afford that.
Most people can't, but
and your $200 month bill ain't going to pay for it.
You take that and spread it over 30 years, which, more people are going to end up doing that.
Rich people.
Not necessarily. Everybody
rich. Yes, it's still going to be rich.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I ain't saying it's impossible. I'm saying we're a long way from it. That's why it hadn't took over already.
Right, but look at what Duke like using we're using Duke Energy as the prime example, right? They raise your rates for their own stupid mistakes, right? So how many times do you guys get hit with somebody else's stupid mistake before you go, I'm good?
Yeah, but you're missing something. Duke is greedy, right? You think the people that make the battery and the solar stuff ain't greedy? They're just going to raise the rates on that stuff. Once they become popular, it's the same. It's just another devil. I ain't saying don't do it. I'm saying it's just a new devil.
Look, I'm telling you right now,
you get screwed either way. Is what I'm coming to.
once you get enough devils in the system, hey, they all start clipping at each other. I mean, look at Elon. Look at Elon and Tesla. Tesla was a $200,000 car. Now they're trying to get down to 30,000 because they see Toyota, GM, and all the rest of those devils coming for their crown.
Oh yeah, I definitely believe so is the future. I'm just saying it's going to be a while. Just like
the only thing that's been holding solar up was battery backup, a reliable battery backup that doesn't cost a whole lot.
Yeah,
I mean that was the only thing that's holding it back.
And that's still holding it back.
Well, it is, but but here's the thing: the fact that you can battery back up from something that doesn't you don't have to worry about it being set on fire or run an extra, cooling suppressing system, because the liquid battery actually prefers to be hot. It wants to be hot.
So look, right now I'm looking at a Outback Power. It's $35,000 for 29 kilowatt.
What is this? The Tesla Powerwall?
No. Tesla Powerwall ain't even close to that big.
Dang.
29 kilowatts. Let's see. 59 kilowatt nameplate, 29 kilowatt effective. And it is actually less than 50% efficient. It's actually a 59 kilowatt, but it's only usable for 29.
Mm.
Says it's a 17-year life. So every 17 years you got to buy another.
Well,
and it's under warranty for 10. That's 3,800 charging cycles. So let's do your math, right?
Yeah.
This is literally for people who are still going to be hooked to the grid, even this one. And it's because 3,800 cycles, that means that the battery has to get charged. It can only be charged 3,800 times at a 50% efficiency. So that gives you effectively, if you're off the grid, that means you get 3,800 days on that battery. So it's like, oh, let's get a new car. Oh no, we got to buy a new battery. You see what I'm saying? It's one of them scenarios.
Hey,
what if you got bad credit?
What if you got bad credit? They're not gonna finance that battery. Or put a new roof on your house.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be another problem of being a homeowner, man.
But that's why I say it's one of the things where, like I said, it's what we really need is legislation so these companies stop screwing us in the first place. That's what really.
That's not gonna happen. You going in there, and Duke Energy will go in there with 10, 15 lobbyists, and then they all get a chance to have a sit down round table with all those local legislators, and those local legislators, they ignore you. They come out to you and go, "We're working on it." Yeah, working on stabbing me in my back.
That's why I say, for like right now, there's multiple stories going around about this. Is that basically that right now solar is a ripoff. It's not giving people the yields that they thought they were going to get. It's not working as efficiently, and that's part of the problem.
But here's the thing: people were pleased with solar. The problem is now that you get Duke Energy and these local legislators are going in and adding fees back in.
Yeah, but I'm saying that was even before that happened.
Making it not worth it again.
I'm saying this is even before that happened. That's just making it even worse. Even before that happened, people are not actually getting what they were promised out of their solar systems. Even before any of these rate changes or fees, they were getting promised one thing about a solar company, and that ain't what they were actually getting. Like one lady said, her bill only went down. She installed a system. Her bill was supposed to cut in half. I think she said it only went down 10%.
Oh heck no!
And she was paying more than that for the solar system. You see the problem?
I know exactly what you're saying.
The solar system cost more than what she saved, so it defeated the purpose. You got it for nothing. And that company actually agreed to come remove hers after she went to the news. They agreed to come remove it and not charge it.
See, my question would have been, oh, you promising 49, 59, 69% droppage in my bill. What happens if it don't? That would be the question I'll be asking. So what happens when my bill don't drop that much? Then what are you going to be saying then? Are you going to come and rip this stuff off? Because I'm not going to pay you.
Now everybody's going to the news to get their story published, so the company feels guilty and pulls it out. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why I say, it's.
I mean, that's the only recourse you have left.
I mean, your best bet is like for me, for instance, like my man cave, for instance. I could run this man cave on all solar, technically. It would still cost me a pretty penny, but I could separate this one small building from the house, and that would alleviate a load off the house.
Right.
That would be more effective than we trying to get a whole system from a whole property.
Well, here's the thing: why not just do it yourself?
That's what I'm talking about. Even doing it myself. That's what I'm saying. It's still not effective. You know how much panels cost, bro?
Oh, I looked at how much the panels cost. I looked at it. I mean, I'm not rolling in that type of dough.
And here's the thing too. It ain't like you're gonna roll up in the bank and say, "Hey, I'm gonna build my own solar system. Give me a loan." They ain't gonna do it.
Oh no, I know.
You got to have cash.
I know.
So that's why I say it's one of them things, man. It's just another devil, bro. and they're making promises they can't keep. So that's why I say some people jumped into solar all fast, excited, and now they're like, "What the fuck?" It's like they fell for it.
That is the problem that we're working on right now.
And we got these big companies out here. I mean, we got solar farms everywhere. I'm within a mile of 4 solar farms. Within a mile.
But see, I feel like our society is moving back to that same problem, right? It's we want to do it for you instead of you doing it to do it for yourself.
Oh yeah, but they're not doing it for us. They're doing it to sell power to the power company. That's what they're doing. These private companies are building these big farms to sell power.
Yeah, it's not for the end user. It's not going to help the end user. It's helping only somebody else's pocket.
Yep.
Oh, you get how much per credit? All right, bet I'm gonna build this farm on my land, and then I'll get extra revenue out of you every month.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that we were further along than that, man. I looked at
it's because they make false promises. That's what I was trying to tell you. A lot of these claims, they're false promises, and people are proving it every day. They can tout all this stuff all they want, but in the real world, it ain't adding up. That's what I say. Some of that progress has been people lying in all these ads and how great this battery is and this solar system. They're lying, but they're in too deep them damn selves, so they're still selling this stuff to people knowing it don't work properly.
Shame. I don't know, man. I just think that we as a society, I think that we need to get away from trying to have everybody try to do everything. Like, I don't need a replaceable battery pack for my car. How about just make the batteries better? How about that? Make it where the charging is not 2.5 hours. Make it where it's 15 minutes. You know what I mean? I could deal with a 15-minute. I can go into the 7-Eleven and go, shop around for a second, come back out, and I'm ready to go.
All I'm saying is, here's the deal. Think about these cars like you think about your phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if they do make the battery last 20 years? The question is, you want to still be driving the same car in 20 years?
No.
So then who cares if the battery lasts 20 years? See my point?
Right.
That's how I'm getting at.
No. And you're absolutely right. I'm just saying,
like, make me a forever battery, but I don't want this car forever.
My thing is like, I have
the used car market. It don't help you.
I have the conversation with customers, and like the new Rivian R1S is coming out, right? And I had a conversation with some Uber customers about that, and people are like, "Well, what's the charging time? Like, how long does it take?" I said, "Well, there's a YouTube show called Out of Spec, and they did something real funny. So this is what they did. They did a challenge where they took all these EVs, a bunch of their friends rented a couple of EVs, and they raced to Vegas, right? But remember, it's not how fast you can drive, it's how long does it take for you to charge.
Yep.
Okay. So here you are. How many times do you got to charge up? How long should you charge? How long should you stay at the charging station? These different things will start factoring in on your road trip right now, because these battery packs aren't, 5 and 6 and 700 mile range batteries. They're 250, 350. So how you plan your trip is way different now than you would if you were doing a battery pack where it was like 600 miles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So our charging infrastructure, it looks like it's there, but it's not as fast. Like Charge America is slow.
1 second.
In comparison to like a Tesla.
There goes my light bill, y'all.
Good Google Moogle, son.
Told you, $235. Used to be $185. And I'm on the flat rate where I pay the same every month. Used to be $185. I was happy to pay $185 because in the wintertime my bill would jump all the way to $300-$400. So the flat rate $185, I was happy to pay it, but this is what they did. Raise the bills, raise the rates.
Man, that's crazy.
Pay for their mistakes. I'm about to pay the bill right now.
Oh, that's crazy, man. I'm surprised that somebody like yourself is not. But look, I could talk to you all day long. I'm surprised you haven't come up with some ingenious way to cut down your own electric bill by now.
I mean, it goes back to the old saying. sometimes you work hard so you don't have to worry about this stuff. It doesn't hurt as bad when you pay it.
But
It don't hurt as bad. Hey, it's better than me forking up, 50, 60, 70 grand right now to go solar.
I understand that.
Mhm.
I understand that.
And then look, I'm gonna finance system for 30 years, but it's gonna have to get replaced in 20. See the problems add up. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna finance at 30, but I'm gonna need a new one in 20. I'm gonna still be paying the old one off when I'm gonna need a new one. You see the problem?
Hey, look. I just say something. These warranties are gonna have to match the number of years that I can be
That's it. These battery
rolling with.
warranties only like 10 years. Life expectancy was 20 on the one I looked at, and the warranty was 10.
But hey, I'm telling you, take a look at the liquid battery, man.
I did. That's what I'm telling you. I just looked at it, and it's
And
saying
they're still
29
still
till 10 years. The life expectancy is 20. No company's gonna warranty for the life expectancy. Nobody does that. They might as well go bankrupt today if they actually did that. Why would they do something to this? That's why I say the whole ownership part is overrated in that scenario. If you tell me as long as I pay this flat fee every month forever, I never have to actually fork up the cash, that's better than a warranty to me. That's how I look at it. That's better than a warranty. Because at least I know that bill is going to be there every month. And it ain't a surprise 35 grand in 20 years.
I understand that.
That's why I say,
Brandon,
ownership sound good.
Sorry, I had a phone call.
That's like if you own a BMW, you're a fool.
Oh no, I would never do that.
You should always lease it. Don't ever own a BMW.
Dog, I've seen people abuse their BMWs here in DC. It's to cry for, dog. I'm talking about, like, you know how when you don't put oil in it, it starts smoking. I've seen people 7 Series be smoking like a chimney, dog. They burning them O-rings to death.
Yes,
because the oil change for a BMW is like $300. I'm like, oh,
well,
what?
So what BMW was doing is they were doing. I know a lady that she got 5 years of oil changes included. They were doing that to help make people want to buy them. They were doing 5 years of all preventative maintenance. So she signed up.
Hey, look, them luxury vehicles, man. I do not need. I'm not trying to put premium in, and I'm not doing $300-400 oil changes. I'm gonna drive my Toyota and be happy.
I mean, well, I've done the premium only game. I played that game. I had a turbocharged car. It wasn't that bad. Putting premium in it.
It is bad right now.
Yeah, but remember, I drive a company vehicle.
See, you're not feeling that pain.
Wow.
I mean, they pay the bill, not you.
They're saying I drive a company vehicle, so my vehicle didn't never have to have gas that often.
That's true.
It's all about how you play the game.
I'm playing the game all wrong. I'm driving my personal vehicle for profit. I'm doing it wrong.
You totting your car out.
Hey, I show tender love and care to my baby.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, no radio run his vehicle in a ditch and be like, I don't care about you.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. I used to fix cars all the time, constantly, trying to get a deal to fix it. So I'll get a fix, so I can just fix on it. After a while, it gets tired of constantly fixing on it. You might as well just buy something that's reliable, that's gonna cost you, but it's gonna kill you. It's gonna get rid of the stress.
That's true.
Sometimes you're paying to alleviate stress. I see these people get these old cars and constantly work on them and working on them and working on them. It's a good car. I only paid this much. Yeah, but you're working on the thing every 3 months. It's like, I'd rather just pay more and not have to worry about it. And that's what my attitude is now, because when you get into a job that requires your attention a lot, you already don't have free time. You want to spend all your free time fixing on something? Who wants to do that?
Hey, dog, that's how I feel about filling up with gas stations, dog. I'm tired of my gas constantly going up every single time somebody sneezes in the Middle East. Somebody sneezes on somebody and a war break out, gas prices skyrocket through the roof. Like, Like, here you go. The way I look at gas prices from that episode from Boondocks when somebody throws a chair. Remember that episode? He was like, do black people really fight as soon as somebody throws a chair? That's how I look at gas prices. Somebody throw a freaking chair in the Middle East, all of a sudden, damn, $7 a gallon for a regular. Like, how did that happen? Somebody threw a chair.
They got to get their bread too, man.
Man, look, I would rather tiptoe around and steal electricity from other people than to concentrate as a gas price.
You're gonna be like old boy behind the sheets with his Kia, plugging it in. That joke was funny. You remember that, Kia?
Yes, I remember that.
I'm just sitting there chilling. I see this dude rolling out a long drop cord.
Yo,
he's plugging up his Kia to the back of the gas station on the little slow charger.
Hey, I'm just saying, man, whatever works.
Like, homie gonna be out here in this parking lot all night.
Matter of fact, he probably worked there.
No, he did not work.
For work.
He did not work there, sir. He wasn't even from the state. He made the mistake of trying to drive an electric car through states.
Wait a second. The electric charging stations are a lot better now.
But guess what, though? That ain't the problem. The problem is you got to plan for it. Sometimes planning every step of the way kills the fun. You don't get to be spontaneous in an electric car if you're going to do state-to-state travel. That's why I said electric car is going to be best for a person that commutes to work, not driving on vacation.
Look, how do you think people in horse and buggy did it? I mean, there was not. There wasn't. They
charged that horse with water and hay every night.
There wasn't hay stations. There wasn't hay stations.
They carried the hay with them. What are you talking about? They carried hay with them. What you talking about? And it don't take an hour to throw some hay on the back from a little stop and keep going.
Oh, speaking of, man. Speaking of, there's a YouTube channel. I can't think of his name, but he's in California. He tried to do that. He put scooter batteries in the back of his Rivian, and was trying to charge his Rivian from the scooter batteries that he put on the back, and forgot this thing called heat, and his inverter burned up.
Yo, did y'all? Okay, there's a thing out there. Somebody was charging their F-150 with their F-150.
What's that? Say that one more time.
There's a video. There's a thing out where a guy was charging his F-150 Lightning with his F-150 Lightning.
No,
he was doing it to see if it would work, and it did. Like,
wow.
But all he was doing was taking power from his own truck and putting it back in the same truck. But because of the efficiency loss, he was actually still draining the battery. He was just wanting to see like what it rejected, and it doesn't. Like, it doesn't recognize that the power plug is on the same car. So he just ran the little charger into the plug on the truck and then plugged it into the charger port. And it actually started saying it was charging, but the battery was actually going down instead of up because it was pulling off the same battery, going through an inverter system just to get turned back into battery.
Man.
But at least, that's why I say the F-150s, they got a leg up with that part. Being able to charge other cars. You see a guy like the guy with the Kia on the side of the road, you just roll up and charge him. Give him 20 miles or something real quick.
How much for 20 miles?
No, the first F-150 Lightnings are being delivered already. You guys didn't already.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I saw the article for it.
Yep.
Sean Prosper said on his YouTube video that he's willing to pay double. So if someone brings him an F-150 Lightning, he will pay you double.
Oh, you already knew that was gonna happen, though.
Wait, who said this?
John Prosper.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
FPT Fapata.
Yeah.
But hey, I got a question for you. Are we going to do a Apple event the day of the event?
Brandon will do one.
They ain't gonna announce nothing.
No, but
and here's the thing.
There's already people talking about that too.
Oh, here's the thing. Apple will get you flagged. Apple will flag you.
No. I'm not saying to rebroadcast it and then have Mitchell on there and all that.
You talking about have a
God
conversation about
damn
it?
it, Brandon.
Yes.
We
I'd be
gotta
happy
get
to have a conversation on it.
you to get somebody else that loves Apple to talk to you, Brandon, because we can't talk about feature improvements on devices we don't even use.
That's true. You look, you're gonna end up being my Apple correspondent because that's how it's gonna end up working. Because understand, I don't venture into that country, and two, I don't have a need. My passport would never take me to that country, so
Maybe we can have a guest star.
Yeah.
hey, that's fine. I'm just telling you that,
Or
yo,
who
look, standing on the other side of the border in Android land, I'd be like, oh, so you finally got widgets? Wow, whoopie doo.
Oh shit.
Oh shoot.
Maybe think of a screen on time. No, what's
What?
it called? On screen thing.
Oh
Like
Lord, you
What's
talking about where your screen it displays information but it's still black?
Yes, that thing.
Yeah, we only got
Man,
that like 12,
yeah.
13 years ago.
How long ago? Way too long ago.
The
I
first,
Look,
still
the
have
first,
it.
the
half the
Galaxy
conversation-
Nexus,
Yes. Oh God.
like 2010.
Well, welcome to the future, Apple.
Welcome to the future. Hey, yo, bro, Apple stores are still being retarded too, by the way, y'all.
No, Ray, you hated, bro.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you what, dude, they still
He say
making
he
people,
hating.
bro, listen, the Apple stores are still making people stand outside. They won't you come in the store and look around over here.
What?
They're
Yes.
not doing that. They're not doing that here.
They're
They
doing
have
that
not
crap
done
here.
that.
It ain't
They-
nobody else doing it, but they are. There was a line in front of the Apple store today of people waiting in the heat. They were all out there cussing and fussing. I only know because I parked in the parking lot where it's at in the shopping center, and they were out there mad as hell. Like, we can't
Look,
just come in
man.
the air conditioning. It's only 95 degrees out here. They make.
Look.
I said, what?
No radio. Understand something.
They're not
When
doing
you-
that here.
When you have your customer base wrapped around your finger,
Oh,
you can make them do anything
Finger.
you want.
they'll probably get shot in Texas trying to do that.
Yep.
I don't know.
No
I don't know.
insensitivity
I
intended.
mean, Texans are used to being out in the heat and the cold. So I'm just saying.
I will take me an
but listen,
umbrella.
all them new Texans is from Cali.
They ain't
They
real
got-
Texans.
People in
You're not
Cali don't
real.
even
You
go
ain't real.
outside. Yo,
Yeah,
I was legit watching the guy that he's been in Cali his whole life. He literally lives 2 miles from the beach and hasn't been to the beach in 10 years. That's why you
Wow.
know they don't care. Us people like on the street, or if you're from somewhere like Wisconsin or somewhere where there ain't no beach, you're like, oh my God, the beach is like right there in Cali. And the people in Cali is like, so? They're like, so?
And
Because it ain't special when you got it every day. It ain't special
hey,
no more.
it's the same problem about all this. Like I live literally in the nation's capital. Okay, do you know that I have yet to go to any of the museums except maybe one?
Because you don't care.
But I care. But the thing is, it's kind of like I don't. It doesn't really appeal as much.
That's what I said though. Everybody always says the grass is greener somewhere, and all the people where you're trying to go don't even want to be there no more.
Yeah. Let's go to the beach. Why?
That's why they hate to see
Why?
you roll up in town. They like, damn tourists.
Oh, look. You know that people who live in Florida hate all the people that come there to go to Disney World. Like, yo, look,
hate you.
I hate Disney World, but yo, understand it pays the bills.
Oh God,
It's paying the bills for now. Look, it's paying the bills, quote unquote, for now.
Oh man.
But yeah, hey, those people in New York probably just feel the same exact way. Why are you taking shots of this stupid intersection? This intersection's been here forever.
Like that bull been right there forever. Nobody care about that daggone bull.
That intersection's been there forever. Why are you taking
You
pictures?
go with your I love New York shirt. You've been here for 2 days. You don't know nothing about New York.
Wait, go down there, go down on 51st Street and try to catch a train. Let's see how much you love this place when you get mugged. How about that?
Oh man.
But yeah, man. Hey, look, the hey, nothing against you, Brandon, but understand
But
you're
y'all got your stores outside.
Got what?
Y'all's Apple stores outside or what?
What do you mean
Outside?
outside?
like in a shopping center outside, or do y'all have them in the malls?
Oh, ain't in no mall.
No, it's
Oh.
probably a dedicated stores. All the Apple stores I've seen are dedicated.
It's in Friendly Shopping Center. It might as well be a mall, but it's just individual entrances.
Most of our Apple stores are in the malls. There's only
I think
one
there's
that's
there's one up in South Point Mall, up in Durham. But yeah,
Durham.
maybe famous from the movie Bull Durham. If you've never seen it.
Yep, the streets of South Point.
Yep. That's where I bought my Mac Pro at years and years ago and took it back a week later. Because of that, because of the
it's a nice store.
When they got rid of freaking Rosetta emulation, it made it useless.
I can't
made
get
me
you with this.
Mad.
I can't get you with this.
I saved up to buy a freaking Mac Pro, and they decided to ditch freaking Rosetta, that model. So none of my software would work. And then they didn't want to let. They didn't want to. I'm like trying to explain. I got thousands of dollars of software I cannot use on this machine.
Shame.
Well, it'll get patched sometime. And like, you know how long until they get patched? It was like 6 months later they got the software patched that I was going to use. Like, no, I'm not about to spend $3-4 grand on a computer and have to wait 6 months to use it. Apple can go suck on one.
Already, it's a nice store.
I know you Apple go all about looks, not functionality.
Yeah. Oh no, they'll be part of the folding phone game in a little bit. It's coming.
It'll be the best thing ever.
Oh yeah. It's so beautiful. Look how it elegantly folds back on itself.
I'm still mad that they didn't go 5G to the iPhone 12. Like really? Like really?
But what was there to see?
What you mean? You pay top dollar. That's like telling me I got a Lamborghini, but I don't get the new twin turbos like all the other Ferraris and stuff.
But like there was really no 5G then.
There was. Okay, that's okay. Apple people always tout how long Apple devices last. Well, if you bought a damn 11, it's already outdated.
Yep.
That's my point.
That was 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and 3 years late to 5G.
Yeah. I mean, what is the OnePlus?
They're only on
the OnePlus 8. The OnePlus 8 is how old?
The OnePlus 7 was 5G.
Yep, OnePlus 7 had 5G also. It had the
where was the
71
5G?
and 41.
What I just gave you the answer, Brandon. If you're touting how long your device is going to be good for, but you don't support features that are going to come in a year, that means your device ain't gonna last.
Yeah, that's true.
If you bought bro, you know how many people I've talked to that literally only had an iPhone 11 for like 8 months. They immediately ditched the iPhone 11 because of the 5G one came out. They immediately were trying to sell them as fast as they could.
No radio. That's called selling point.
But if we remember, Brandon, people were carrying iPhone 6s around for like freaking 8 years. And and it didn't even have all the bands.
Bro, I had a customer that came in that legit had the original iPhone SE.
That's just like people that had the iPhone that still had iPhone 6s. They didn't have no band 71. So if you were on T-Mobile, you're screwed.
That's true. And without 71, your network experience was sucky.
Everybody around you got better coverage and you ain't got it because they waiting too long to put features on phones.
But
that's all I'm saying. Longevity, Brandon. That's the answer. Longevity. Yes, now the 12 will have some longevity. But the truth is but the 11 could have too. And if we be real, the 10 could have had longevity too. They literally remove how long that. So they basically found out, okay, we made the phones last too long. First, let's miss the battery. So, all right, we did that. We got caught. Let's stop. All right, now let's wait forever to put features on so people keep having to upgrade to get the features.
Okay,
that's what they did.
So then why does the Galaxy S5 have 5G?
Guess S what?
The Galaxy S5? Wow.
Because there was no such thing as 5G when it came out.
Brandon,
there was no such thing as 5G when the 10 dropped
Brandon
out.
is a troll. Brandon's a pure troll. Well, the Galaxy S5 don't have 5G because nobody had 5G at that point.
There was no such thing.
What is it? Like saying. The Note, like my Note 10. My Note 10
was 5G. The OnePlus 7 was 5G, and there was about 12 other models of devices out there were already 5G when the iPhone 10 dropped.
They had the 10, they had the XS, they had the 11s. 3 years. It took them 3 years.
Wait! Y'all are wrong. Them folks do have 5G only on AT&T.
No, they don't.
Oh, you talking about the 5GE? You talking about the 5GE?
Oh, here we go with see. I blame Apple for this crap. You see what I'm talking about?
Oh,
That's 5GE. Yeah, okay. AKA band 30. Oh,
hey, 5GE.
I had band 30. I had band 30 on the OnePlus 6, so I don't know why that's so special.
Oh my God. Hey, look. Why do you think AT&T's acting the way it is, man? Their customer. If you're an AT&T customer, you don't care. Only thing you care about is, can I make my phone calls and is my bill going up? That's the two things they worried about right now.
Same reason why I stopped buying OnePlus devices. You were paying flagship money but missing features. It's the same reason why I'm picking on Apple. They want flagship money, but they keep skipping features. That's all I'm saying.
It's not a feature until Apple makes it a feature, sir. It's not a feature until Apple makes it a feature. Widgets for everybody.
As I say, when OnePlus started raising them prices, when they started getting into the Galaxy price range, there was no point in owning a OnePlus anymore because they were missing features, missing wireless charging, for one. Missing higher resolution screen. You had to buy a special model to get a high resolution screen. Like they were playing the Apple game at OnePlus, which is why they're now dying. They're dying a whole
down in the drain you go.
Yeah, yes, I don't use wireless charging, but if I pay wireless charging money, I want wireless charging, dang it. That's all I'm saying. It's like, yo, here's a Lamborghini with a Honda engine in it. No.
Well, you know what? The
no radio. Look at this.
The bodies with the bodies over there. What is she doing? This is fake. This is so fake.
What's she doing?
She thinks she gonna order right there. Hey, it does say mobile order. Yo, bro, I'm gonna tell y'all something, yo.
Hey, no radio. Hey, no radio. Hey, she's an iPhone user.
You know it. Bro, but check this out, bro. These people, they kill me. When I walk into McDonald's, right? I always use the kiosk, right? It be people standing in line for like 10 minutes. I done ordered and got my food. They're looking at me like I did something wrong to them. I'm like, bro, the kiosk is right there. You could have used the kiosk.
No radio. You look. I'll just say something. You still in North Carolina, sir.
Bro, old
You're
people
in North Carolina.
What I'm saying is, like, old people are like protesting. They did the same shit with Walmart and self-checkout. Why I gotta check my chauffeur? Maybe you don't want to wait in a line, idiot.
Look, man, I'm just telling you, dog.
It's the same thing.
Here in DC, man, look, understand something. They don't even put there's nobody at the register no more.
Yeah, I'm saying it's the same thing here. They gotta bring somebody out the back to get that old guy that don't want to freaking use the kiosk because he refuses to. Because he wants.
Y'all know Walmart actually made the first store with no register in Houston.
The first what?
Store with no register.
Yeah,
no, it was Amazon.
Just walk out with the stuff like Amazon.
Yeah.
I think it was Amazon.
Yo,
first.
I just say something. The Amazon store was dreamt up by a man because it was not because it's all designed around a man's thinking. We go in, we grab, we go.
Yeah.
We don't peruse. I don't care about what's on the other aisles. If I want peanut butter, I'm going in for peanut butter, and that's it.
What's like man? I don't try shoes on. I know what size I wear.
Right.
I don't need to try on the damn 80,000 shoes like a woman. I know if I'm wearing Nikes, it's gonna be a size 10, 10 and a half. I'm good. You know.
Yeah. you
my wife in there. She gonna try 15 sizes, knowing daggone well.
Hey, come on, man. You know you gotta do like what Smoke did. Yo, do these Nikes go good with the tech?
Oh, that was Smoke. You talking about? Low
dog.
He said, should I wear these high tops with the Tech 9? Or should I wear the low tops with the Mac 10?
I'm just go with the bedroom slippers.
I'm gonna just wear these then. Bunny slippers. Oh God. That movie is iconic, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I hate to say, but I think that's the only time Marlon's ever actually been funny to me.
Really?
Marlon ain't really that funny, bro. He's too over the top. But then that role, he killed that. Do we have a
problem?
He killed that role.
Oh my
Is
God.
that USS? Oh no!
Oh.
Hurry up! Go!
Was that
Go!
scripted?
I'm
Wait,
pretty
that
sure.
type of comedy?
I'm pretty sure it was
Normally
not.
it is.
No.
But then what you see now, like a Ryan Reynolds will just riff for like an hour and a half to get a good line. Like, you know, he'll just do random stuff and then they'll put it in.
Yeah.
Because look, understand something. It's hard to be funny on demand, man. It's hard.
I mean, it depends.
It's hard.
Some people, that's how they shine, though. There's literally actors out there that they just don't write scripts for. They just go, "You're this character. Do whatever you do when you get here." That's what they literally do, and they just figure it out.
Yeah, Mitchell's good at that.
Because it's more natural.
What was it? The Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, he said that big ass head.
Yes, and Ludacris spit out of his water.
He spit out his water because he didn't see it coming.
Scripted. He didn't see that coming.
He got a genuine. It's called genuine reaction. It's the best stuff.
And genuine reactions are hard to do, yo. It's hard to do. Like it's like the camera got to be on the whole time, and it's like, and we got it. Yes.
Oh man.
Cut, print, send it to him.
Yeah, big ass forehead.
Man.
Oh,
Sorry, guys.
that wasn't scripted, right?
No.
No, it was not.
What Tyrese said was scripted. How The Rock reacted was not. But that was just his. He was having a black moment. That's what The Rock was having.
That's what that was. You jab at me, I'm gonna jab back.
He couldn't help it.
Man. All right, guys. I think this was a good session for this evening.
Yes, sir.
It was. That's like an hour, almost 2 hours.
Almost. I thank y'all for coming. Appreciate it a whole lot.
Yep.
Come back again next week.
Yes, sir.
Y'all have a good one.
We need to play Make Keon Laugh.
Oh no.
We gotta make him break in front of the customer.
No, I'm not doing that.
We're gonna keep score and everything, y'all. But
look, I'm not doing that.
But we gotta do it with minimal bad language.
Y'all be acting a fool. Y'all have a good night.